Hi friends, welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. If you are new here, we would love to have you subscribe and click that bell to get notifications every time one of us uploads a new video. I'm Kim and I'm going to be playing with some honeybee stamps goodies today. And the main event here is this really fantastic tie the knot honey cut die set. And you can see you get all the parts to build a wedding dress and a tux for the groom, and there's lots of little bits in here to play with. I also have the Inside Wedding Sentiments stamp and die set, and this is a stamp set that's got lots of sentiments for the inside of your wedding card that you're giving to someone, and also several for the outside as well. Of course, the inside sentiments can be used on the outside. It does have a coordinating die set that you can use to cut out each and every one of those sentiments. So that is really fantastic. I love having the coordinating dies for sentiments. It's really fun. This is the Perfect Day Wreath stencil, and this is actually a layering stencil. It's got a mask layer, and then it's got 4 layers to build this really pretty wreath. And I'm going to play with that today. And then the final thing that I have here is I have these foil script wishes, hot foil plate, and die sets. You can see they have the script sentiments and then the coordinating dies to cut them out. And I'll use that on one of the 3 cards I make today. So I die cut all the pieces to the tie the knot dies out so that you could see them, and so that I could build one wedding dress and one tux so you could see how I'm doing it. And I'm adding a little bit of color to the bottom of the dress just so you can see the layers. So I've put quite a bit of color actually on the base of that dress. I'm going to put a little bit less color on the second layer and no color on the third layer. And I actually kind of liked the color that I added, so I did use this on one of the final cards. I also have some scrapbook adhesive square foam dots, and I have a couple different sizes that I'm using today. So I just put one foam dot on that second layer there, and I'm just adding it to the wedding dress base, and then I'll add the third layer. And these layers give that wedding dress so much dimension. It really looks like that skirt is in motion. I really like it. So there are a lot of little bits here. There is a bow die, and then there's a die that cuts out a belt that goes under the bow. And here you'll see me put this up near the top of the top of the dress. It actually goes around the waist, and I actually like it at the top here too. The second strip goes along the skirt. It's like a trim piece at the top of the skirt where the fitted part fits with the fullness of the skirt. There's a piece that serves as a trim piece, and then there's also this hanger, and you could die cut 2 of these and use one for the wedding dress and one for the tux if you wanted to, and it's just really fun. Like that's fun to build. And imagine all of the pretty specialty papers or the pretty pattern papers or the pretty washi tapes even that you have in your stash that you could use to build dresses with out of this die. Like this die set. It's just so much fun. So here I'm doing the same thing with the tux. I'm going to add color to the jacket and the pants. I'll leave the shirt white. And there are quite a few little bits to this set as well. And I'm going to do the little bits in a gray tone here, like a light gray. And I'm just adding the color so that you can actually see the different parts together. And some of the parts are so tiny that it's like almost impossible to see them on the video, I think, or even in the photo, but they add just a little special touch. So there are the I guess the lapels of the suit jacket that you add on, and then there are little triangles that you add to the collar of the shirt. There is a little tiny bow tie, and then there is a little strip that I'm adding right here for the pocket, and there's a little triangle for the handkerchief sticking out of the pocket. So I carefully added those. You can see I'm using reverse tweezers here. I just put a teensy dab of glue on the back and added them that way. So the reverse tweezers are fantastic for jobs like this. And I went ahead and I attached everything with glue. I'm just now attaching adding some glue to the bottom of the jacket and then attaching it to the pants. So I've built these. And now I'll put these aside and create a card with those later that I'll show you. But I'm going to create 2 other dresses and 2 other tuxes so you can see them in different papers and color combinations. And I'm excited. This is always fun to play with because my daughter is actually getting married next summer, and she's got a whole Pinterest board that her fiance is adding things to. And here is the Perfect Day wreath. So this is a great stencil set. It's actually beautifully labeled. Like every stencil has at the top of it, like it says Perfect Day Stencil Layer 1. And so if you can read the words, then you know you have it going in the right direction. So I'm using some fall colors. Those seem to be the colors my daughter's pinning. So for the first one, I used a nice light apricot color, and these are Catherine Pooler inks. And these are some of her newer colors. So it's really the first time I'm playing with them. This is slightly darker, and it's called Ginger. And I'm just using my blender brushes. I have an odd collection of random assortment blender brushes. And I've tried several different brands. I like them all. I feel like they're all fun to play with. So that's what I'm using here. So I'm just filling in the open spaces on each stencil, and I'm using just one color per stencil to make it easy. And you can see that it's really easy to line these stencils up because the stencils have embossed bits that actually line up with whatever you used on the last stencil. So it's so easy to line this up. I didn't have to do anything special. And I am working, by the way, on the new magnetic crafting platform by Tonic, and it does have a couple of really powerful magnets I could be using at this moment, but it's such a habit for me to just hold my stencils that I forget about the magnets. So now with the third stencil, I'm filling in the martini color green. And this is the lighter of the 2 greens. I'm going to use that eucalyptus for my darker one. And you can see this whole wreath coming together here. It's so pretty. So since my daughter's been pinning all these fall color florals, I decided to use sort of fall colors here when I was creating this wreath just for fun. So here's the eucalyptus. This is one of my favorite ink colors, and I'm adding that. It's just a little bit darker than that martini. It's so nice to have colors that layer together like this with the darker and the lighter. And I'm just filling in all the open parts of each one of these layers, and you get this really pretty finished product. Like, it's beautifully layered. It's not super detailed, which is nice, because then you don't have to worry about, like, really the inks aren't layering on top of each other. They're going next to each other, and that's actually kind of nice. So you don't have to really be too worried about using lighter and darker ones. So I'm pulling in that wedding dress and that tux I just created, and I'd like it to stand out a little bit more with the background. Plus I have this mask, so why not use it? So I pulled out a blue. Actually, I pulled out the hot tub color, which is a little bit of a blue-green, but it's nice and light. So I'm going to go around the edge of that mask, and the mask lines up beautifully with the wreath that I just created. So I'm just going to go around the edge and add some blue, just because I had the mask and I wanted to use it and see what it would look like. And of course you can use any colors you want. Here you don't even have to make those leafy parts green if you don't want to. You know, make it coordinate with your color scheme. So, and I'm pretty sure that there are other coordinating products for this wreath as well. So, you know, make sure when you go on ScrapbookPal's website, you do what I did and browse all of the coordinating stuff, because the website will make plenty of recommendations for things that coordinate with that tie the knot. And I really had a lot of fun playing with the pieces that I decided to pick. It was hard to decide which ones to pick. So I did add some of that hot tub color to the inside just because I wanted the wedding dress and the suit to stand out a little bit more. So I'm just going to put some foam on the back of them, just a couple pieces of foam, and I put it only on the top part. I felt like I had enough foam on the bottom of the wedding dress, so I just used liquid glue behind that and put the foam bits toward the top of the dress, and the same thing with the suit. And then I'm just adding it there, and I will add this to a card base, and later in the video you'll see when I add one of the sentiments and some really pretty gems from Pinkfresh. So I do play with it a bit, but I really thought this was a lot of fun to create, and I like the way it turned out. It's just interesting. So I'll finish that card up later and you'll see the finished product, but I want to play more. So I created some more wedding dresses, and I created cards with layers, and I tried to keep it simple. So I have some glitter, silver glitter paper that I used as a layer, and you can see I kept this wedding dress white, and I just added some silver glitter with the bow and the trim pieces. I like the little touch that added. And then I used the best wishes from that foil script wishes set, and I used silver foil, and then it has the coordinating die with the script foil plates. So I love how that came out. And it's more than just weddings. They had congratulations, but they also have with sympathy and some other things as well. So those sentiments will go a long way. So here I'm using some really pretty like white gems from Pinkfresh. Specifically, these are called glacier gems, and I thought that they coordinated really nicely here. Actually, no, I'm not using the white gems I used on the other one. These are the matte silver metallic pearls. Love them. Love the Pinkfresh gems. I know I use these in all my videos, and I'm just kind of laying them around there. I'll add them on with glue, and I'll pull that back out at the end of the video so you can see all three of these cards together. Then I used some specialty paper on this one, and some bronze foil specialty paper I had in my stash, and I did 2 different shades of gray for the tuxes on the cards with the specialty papers. And here you can see I'm just pulling out 2 sentiments to use on the front of the card. I haven't decorated the inside of the card yet. I like to do that actually when I go to send it so I can pick the appropriate card for, or the appropriate sentiment on the inside of the card for the people that I'm sending it to. So I'm just inking these up with black ink, and then I'll fit the correct die to each one of those sentiments and run it through my die cut machine. And I carefully, when I do these kinds of things, I carefully tape the dies down to the paper when I'm putting them on, like the sentiments and stuff, because I find that the dies will slip if I don't tape them down. So my favorite tape to use for that is the Spellbinders Best Craft Tape Ever. It's yellow and it does a nice job of holding them down without taking all my paper off when I do it. So I'm pulling this closer to me so I can actually make sure that I'm centering that sentiment and getting it straight, and then I'll run that through my die cut machine. I added some thin foam strips to the back of the sentiments so that they popped up a little bit, and on that card there with the Perfect Day Wreath, that's where I used the Glacier Gems, and I only put 3 there. And it says, I believe it says, on your wedding day. I love the sentiment. I love the script font. This one says with love, and I think that turns out really pretty. And those are the gems I used here are the Pinkfresh Sparkling Champagne. And then on the white card with the silver, I used the Pinkfresh Matte Silver. Those are metallic gems. Love them. So you'll find all the products listed below. I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends so they know to check out ScrapbookPal's YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, friends. Have a fantastic day, and I hope you find time to be creative today.